Hey folks, how's everybody doing tonight? Just got done watching Spud, Pickle, and Elston on their little live stream. Impromptu live stream tonight. That was pretty fun. So if you're coming over from there, welcome. Oh, it's starting to rain. Okay, so hopefully, I think I got all this garbage figured out, and the stream should be better. Hoping it's better. Really hoping it's better. So let me know if you can hear me okay. Everything looks alright. I think everything looks alright. Not sure if that's too bright. Let me mess with this real quick. It's looking a bit bright. I think that looks better. Yeah. Okay, everything looks like it's going okay thus far. Let's hope it stays that way. Okay, so I'm basically, for all intents and purposes, I am done painting the knob himself, and I've gone on to the base. This is what I'm doing for the base. Just got primer and some base colors down. Use this beige brown for the dirt sections, and a mix of these for the rocks and the little log here. So we're gonna, eventually that's gonna look like wood. Again, I normally wouldn't put this tuft in yet, but these tufts are garbage, and kind of the best way to do them is when you're doing the texture paste. But I have better ones. I want to try to use these up because I already have them. I already have them, so might as well use them. So I guess it might be a little bit of background noise because it's raining like really hard. And it's pretty windy, so it's hitting against the windows. But we're gonna get out some browns here and start working on this. Working on this train. Few different, some reddy browns, some kind of neutral browns. Let's see, this kind of mustardy brown. And we'll do some washes and contrast paints also, but this is where we're going to get started. I'm going to put these out on a dry palette because this is going to be dry brushing. Again, I should have mixed these up before we started, but kind of stupid like that. get some of this out. I like these paints okay. I hate these pots though. Same thing with the P3 paints. Dig the paints, but not the pots. I wouldn't bother changing over all my Citadel paints because I don't really like them enough to do that. I mean, they're fine, but if I'm going to spend the time and energy and money on doing that, I'll do it with the P3s and the Foundries. This is this Idolary Middlestone color. This forge paint is what? I don't know what it is. Oh, it's on the top. The Flesh Shade. P3. This is the I forget what it's called. Beast Tide. See a kitty. Maybe she'll come say hi again tonight. So I don't really have any really dark colors out. For the darker colors, we're going to use shades and contrasts. Probably using some Draconian Camel Shade, Agrax of course, probably some Gorgrunnifer, Dark Oath, yeah, probably most of those. I kind of try to like to get a decent variety of stuff here. We might thin some of these out and just kind of smash them in there here and there. But this is basically going to be the start of this. I need a dry brush. So let's start out with this Flesh Shade. Here's a kitchen towel. Kind of usually don't care about paying as much attention to wiping off when I'm doing bases and terrain. It's okay if it's a bit heavy. I'm not super concerned if I get on the wood or the rocks either. I'm going to kind of jam into some of these parts too, because we're trying to get a nice variation of browns kind of throughout the whole thing. That's good for that. Let's get some of this brown. I'm not even going to bother cleaning out the brush. So I'm just really trying to be as random as I can here, especially on this first part. Once we get all the shades and the contrast down, then we'll start to be a little bit more deliberate with what I'm doing. I think this Beast Hide is going to be a nice dry brush color for the end here. So again, this first part, we're just trying to get some variation. Not worried about really anything else. So we still got to work in our greens, our dark colors. So we're just kind of trying to set our undertones. And like I said, I don't care if I get it on the stones that are already base coated. It's not a big deal, because those are going to get sort of a random sort of like a glaze, kind of glaze stipple anyway. So let's get in a little bit of this real bright color. I'm going to try to keep this more on basically the top half. Be a little bit heavier with this. Anything that kind of has a little bit higher elevation, I'm going to hit a little heavier with this color. And that looks pretty good for now. Let's work in a little more of this darker reddish brown into some spots. Kind of more into the shadowed areas. And some pigments that are similar color. That's kind of where I went with these brown surfaces. I see you. Yes, I think it's a good idea too. I tried using that little dongle Ethernet again, and this time for whatever reason the camera's acted fine, but it didn't want to connect to my hub. So I gave some kind of error. So fuck it. If this works, then I'm happy. Alright, so I think that's pretty good for those colors. Now you know what, let's get a little more of this mustard in here. I'm gonna grab a different dry brush. Alright. Looks sufficiently like ass, as it should for this point. So I set my bandwidth down to quite a bit, and if everything seems okay, I'm going to try bumping it up again, see if I can get a little better image quality. I don't know how much that matters, if it's more about more about smoothness or more about quality, I'm not sure. But until I get a new machine, I'm gonna have to max some settings down. If you have more than one USB port, you could use master port for USB hub between and through Ethernet. Gotcha. You can try that. Yeah, I could do that. I would have to move all my assets off my external drive onto the computer. I mean, it's not a big deal. I would have to rebuild the whole thing. Yeah, I have a USB Ethernet thing, and I couldn't get it to work before. And then I got this one it's like a USB port and an Ethernet port, or USB hub and an Ethernet port, and that didn't work either, so I don't know. I don't know. This one got a Athonian camo shade, some Agrax. Got a couple other washes up here. I'll probably throw around too. Get a shitty brush. Yeah, I'll give that a try sometime. So the Athonian camo shade is going to give us some nice green browns. Just putting this on kind of randomly. There's one spot under here where I kind of want the green to be more heavy, so we'll take care of that right now. Get rid of these fucking tough strands. They're fucking annoying. I want this section under here to be more green, because it's in the darkness. It would be a little more mossy. And under the log as well. Kind of really along the sides of stuff and undersides. That's where I'm going with this. So that seems quicker too. Good. 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 I'm glad it's at least better. And throw some agrax around. I'm going to get it everywhere because we still need to get out these contrasts. So got some nice variations in browns in those. Let's see what this agrax looks like on this log. So. We'll just throw it on here and let it dry. I plan on painting that some other color, but I was just curious what it would look like. And it's not terrible. Could kind of pass for wood, but I'm gonna make it better. Gonna make it better. Later. We'll make it better. Alright, that's good for agrax. So here's kind of what we're looking at so far. I know it's still wet, obviously, but so some of that's going to be hard to see because of the glare from the wetness. Alright, so contrasts. Gonna want some skeleton horde, gonna want some snakebite leather, gorgon fur, dark oath flesh, and where to go, creed camo. Oh, dude, you could do this. This is nothing. It's a wart on a baby's ass. And literally, this is just slapping down colors. No plan at all. So I think we'll start with skeleton horde. Maybe a little bit light for this color, but we'll try it. We're also going to use the MIG ammo, enamels, the earth stuffs. Yeah, I'm just trying to be random and just get stuff, still leaving room for other colors. Yeah, this model stuff, it always looks terrible before it looks better. Okay. Alright, let's get some, what's this? Dark oath. It's a nice red brown. I really like dark oath flesh for doing basing. It's nice. I said, don't want to do it everywhere. And leave space for other stuff. Like Gorgonifer. This one's quite dark. Hey, get down. No. Come on. Go. I should probably learn to turn my notifications off. Yeah, so this one's quite dark. So I'm going to kind of keep this towards the bottom and the undersides of things. Damn it, fucking dummy. Hold on a minute, cat country. Alright, sorry about that. Cat's being a dick. Alright, so the Gorgonifer, like I said, is dark. So I'm going to keep it towards the bottom here. This is probably what I'm going to use for this log. Because I really like the way this Gorgon looks for wood. It's pretty dope. And we might even thin this down. Hey Clint, how you doing, man? Good to see you. I might even thin this down quite a bit later. After everything's done. And just do a nice wash of it. So I kind of want to keep this towards the bottom though, for the most part. So it's looking pretty shitty. As it should. How your grots coming, man? How many more you got to do? You down below 15 yet? And Creed Camo. Thanks, yes, it is going to be the base for the knob. He's going to make sure my fingers are clean. He's going to stand up here, like so, approximately like this. Yeah. So we're just doing the messy stage at this point. Just slapping down colors. Skin tone stone, just about 5 to do details on the basis. Hey, nice. Nice, nice. Looking forward to seeing them all finished. This Creed Camo is really nice for this too because it's mostly green, but it also does have a bit of a brown to it, which I do like a lot. So most of these vertical surfaces are getting this, the undersides and areas sort of like this where stuff overhangs. It's getting this as well. It's just going to give it a little more shadow and, you know, kind of make it sort of mossy. Give it sort of a mossy look where that stuff would grow naturally. So that's what I'm trying to do here. We're letting it mix in with the other stuff. It's all good. I'm not sure where to go. Grassy bases or concrete smash kind of vibe. Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good question. Both would be cool. Either one. Can't really go wrong. Alright, so we gotta give this a little bit to dry before we get this other stuff going. For kind of matching colors, we're going to use this one, this turned to earth. I thought it had more of a reddish brown. Oh, that was the one that was fucked up, right? No, that's not it. Oh, I guess I don't. Oh, no big deal. This will be fine. And we can mix in a little bit of this light soil too. Dry palette, I'm gonna need some white spirits. I'm gonna make a clean white spirits jar because this is my washing up one. is base made of cork and natural pieces. It's yeah, the elevation is built up with cork, and then this is an actual twig from some bushes outside. Then the rest of it is just some small stones and this texture paste. I really like this stuff because it's gritty and it's got like fibers and stuff in it, so there's a few different textures going on in it. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to need a pouring aid. These little jars are just much easier to deal with. Nergling, good evening, sir. Thank you for joining. How are you doing tonight? Hey G, welcome. Thanks for stopping in, man. Good to see you again. Long time no see. Since what, half hour ago in the other chat? Alright, so I'm gonna mark this one. It's my clean spirits. Hey, thanks, man. Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year to you as well. Hope your Christmas was grand. So yes, this is the base for the knob. Now we're just letting this contrast in these shades dry up real quick. And we're going to go on to some Enamel Mud Effects. These are the heavy muds. We're gonna put these down, not crazy amounts. Some of them we're just gonna slap down, some are gonna thin out, some are gonna feather out. Later on, when we get the model on here, we'll use these again to do some spatter. We'll thin him down real good and do some spatter on his boots and pants. To be honest, this is going to be my first time trying these, so I'm going to be doing a lot of experimenting. I've watched a lot of videos about them, well, not about them specifically, but videos with them in them, and it doesn't seem super hard, super complicated, but I haven't tried them before, so we'll see what happens. I keep forgetting to change my mute button. I need to change that from a microphone I no longer have plugged into this microphone. So my apologies for the vape noise. On the plus side though, it seems that it has actually stopped raining. That's nice. Cut down the background noise a bit. Yeah, let's try to get rid of some of this cat hair. Might already be baked in, but we'll try. If we can't, then we can at least push it down a little bit. I know I saw another one. I don't remember where it is though. Well, I'll find it eventually. Alright, so yeah, we're at this assy stage. And we're gonna leave it as is for now. I'm gonna do the log probably with Gorgrundifer. I like using that for wood. I know everybody likes wildwood, and that's good too. But it's kind of dark. So a lot of times I've been using either the Gorgrunna by itself or Gorgrunna and Dark Oath Flesh together for wood. So I like the way that looks. So it seems like stream is pretty stable tonight, which is good. A lot better than it's been, which was shitty. Oh, there's another cat here. Dwarves are fun to paint, huh? In black and white stripe paint going for the rough should be fun. A bit of a challenge. Oh yeah, that'll be cool. You can do it! Alright, well there's nothing really going on with this real quick. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick like, so I'll be right back. Well, the rain has stopped, but the wind certainly has not. Blowing like crazy. Oh, good. Good to hear. Good to hear. It's almost like typhoon wind out there. We haven't had a typhoon this year. I mean, not proper. There was one that hit South Taiwan, but nothing up here in the north. I found that other cat here. Previous years we've had a lot. Like definitely at least 2 to 3. Let's go to the watch back with bam. Ooh, first introduction, nice. Makes me think back when I was a boy. My dad took me to see that in the theater. I will never forget that. Good film. Have fun, man. Enjoy. Enjoy your family time. Wind in Australia's been real crazy this year. It's been a pretty... weather here's been different this year. It hasn't been as hot over the summer. You know, still hot, but not as hot. We haven't really been cold yet. It's supposed to get cold tomorrow. It's supposed to get down to 7 Celsius. Ooh. So cold. And yeah, no typhoons. Yeah, it's been kind of a strange year. Alright, so I'm going to... oh shit. Apologize for the noise. I'm gonna get some air on this, see if we can't speed this process up a little bit. What are you up to this evening, G? You painting, building? What's up with you? You're gonna go to bed, couldn't sleep, so it's nice to jump in. Ah, right on, man. I mean, sorry that you can't sleep, but appreciate the presents. Oh, speaking of presents, the other present, the one with the tea. Christmas stuff starting to roll in. Death Killer War Trike. Can't wait to build this thing. But I can't even open it yet. I mean, I opened it to look at the sprue, but I can't do anything with it yet. I need to finish the squig buggy first. So I need to finish the dread first, which means I need to finish this first. But the dread is priority. After that, actually, a squig buggy. Yeah, dude, it's cool. It's so cool. I was pretty excited. Wasn't expecting it. It was from my girlfriend. She actually got some paints too, and she did pretty good. She only got me one color that I already had. Well, 2 colors that I already had, but one I use a lot of. So I'll be cracking open the new one soon. The other one, not so much. It's going to be a while before I get to that new pot. And I have a Gorzag en route from the States. It got mailed yesterday. So that should be here in a couple weeks. Can't wait to get started on that too. That was also for my girlfriend. We tried to buy one in Taipei, but our friendly local didn't have any. So my pops grabbed one for me. And the conditions for her getting that one is she said I had to make videos on it. So there you go. Guess I have to make videos on it. So sad. I so don't want to do that. And of course I want to do that. I hope they do. Hope you can get one. Alright, brother. Thanks for coming in, man. Have a good afternoon. Happy New Year. And, yeah, hopefully see you soon. So we're getting pretty close to dry. There's just a couple spots where there's some pooling that are still wet. Other than that, we're about there. Just a couple more minutes. And we should be all good. Sorry about the noise here for this fan. See, it kind of came down to a Gorzag or Gazgo. Since Gorzag's the new hotness. And I wouldn't have been able to get one. Who knows when they're going to go for sale online. So I figured that was a better choice. They have Gazgos here. I can pick one up if I need them. I mean, and that is a fucking cool model. I kind of don't understand why people, I mean, not everybody, but I've seen a lot of people kind of dissing the Gazgo. I don't really get it. I think it's pretty dope. I've seen people dissing the Gorzag too. Like, whatever, man. Sometimes I think people just like to bitch. It doesn't matter what it's about. You get an opportunity to complain. You're gonna take it. Alright, I think that looks like it's pretty much all dry. Except down in that crack inside there, but I'm not going to be putting anything in there anyway. Alright, so let me get some oil brushes out here. These are all ones I'm using for oils and enamels. So let's see what we can do with these. Total experiment here. Interesting. So I think we'll just throw some in here. And we'll give another little dollop over here. One that we can mix. So one straight and one for mixing. I almost put this in my water. I should clean off real quick. So you messed around with these at all? This is my first time with these enamels. I've seen them used to great effect, but this is the first time trying them. I don't know if it should be taken out of the cap. I'm sure it's fine, right? Cool. Yeah. I kind of don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I know what I've seen, but that was mostly on vehicles. So a little bit on terrain or basing or vignetting, whatever the hell you want to call it. But for the most part, I'm going to be doing a lot of guessing here. So I'm going to take some clean spirits and these two wells I'm going to thin this out. The other two I'm going to leave straight. Not really sure how much to use. Looks like about what I saw in the videos. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Yeah, that looks about right. Looks like about the consistency he had. He being night shift. I do watch some other scale modelers. But I watch him far more than anybody else. No, maybe I should have one of these wells of just spirits. It looks very much like dry earth. It's really flat. Depending on how you use it, it can be very chunky with a lot of texture. You can thin it way down like you can with oils. There's different ways to do it. So I'm gonna be mostly experimenting, having the things that I saw in mind, but also not really knowing what I'm doing. So I'm thinking we'll start with the dark one, and alright, let's give it a go. I think we're going to go mostly on the flat surfaces with this. And then, so what I think I'm going to do is kind of put it on in kind of in clumps and then kind of feather it out. I'm just kind of dabbing it in here. And then I'll thin it out. Oh, crap. We'll feather out the edges, and then I don't know, we might try some spatter on here just to see how that works. Let's grab a little bit of our spirits. I'm just kind of feathering out the edges of the globs that I made. So I'm kind of trying to get some of this color underneath for shelter, so basically kind of make sort of more like a filter, I guess. Kind of going reductively, sort of like you do with oils. A little bit like that. Which is actually kind of more like feathering than really removing like you do with oil stuff. Let's see, where else do we want some? I'll go down here. A little bit of their spirits. And kind of feather it out. I'm just kind of pulling from just inside what I put down and just kind of pulling it out. I think that's kind of cool. Alright, well, let's do some spatter with this. Just because let's see. Piece of cardboard here. Get kind of a bunch on here. I think maybe this isn't such a good spattering brush. Or maybe it's too thick. Try thinner stuff, see what happens. Oh, that's a little better. Alright, let's do the same thing with the lighter color. Oh, that's cool. That looks dope. Probably pretty hard to see on camera, but that looks cool. Alright, so I want to grab some of this lighter color and kind of do the same thing we did earlier. Just kind of put some in randomly, and we'll thin that out. So if I'm going to kind of do this lighter color, almost sort of like an overbrush, really. I just baked it in toaster oven. From what I understand, it's not even really necessary as long as you seal it with something real good, like Mod Podge, or I actually sealed it with super glue first, so I mean honestly it probably wasn't even really necessary. But yeah, I baked it. Just baked it in a toaster oven. But yeah, like I said, from what I understand, I mean, it's not really even necessary if you seal it. And then you don't really need to worry about it. So this is, what I'm doing is different than, you know, how dudes use this on tanks and stuff, and on a lot of their terrain, because it's just a different situation. I'm kind of using things that I saw in the videos, and also kind of not. I was kind of improvising some of it. But it is mixing really nice up here with this darker color. I'm liking that a lot. Let's see how this works as a to wash in some of these spots. Not everywhere, but just in some places. See what it does. We won't know for a while until it dries, but particularly with brushes. Yeah, I have a few brushes that I only use for oils and these acrylics. I don't use any brushes that I use with oils or acrylics. I don't use with my, sorry, enamels. I don't use with my regular acrylics. Let's try putting this on this rock. So what's the worst that can happen? Repaint it, right? I needed a base coat for this rock anyway, so might as well give it a try. Some of these other rocks too need base colors. But yeah, these are just these are really cheap synthetic brushes. I definitely wouldn't use any nice brushes for this. Hey, it's Paul John. Oh, I thought that was G asked the question about the brushes. Sorry. I almost went in my water again. Yes, I am particular with brushes. I have some that I like a lot. For all my base coating and all my super, like, kind of rough areas, I use these Ice Bay 6224s. These are cheap, fairly cheap. They're not as cheap as full acrylics, but these are a 50-50 sable acrylic blend, and they last forever. I use these for most of my stuff. For detail, I use the next is the Ice Bay 6223. These are red sable. They're not Kolinsky sable, but for the price, I can get 2 or 3 of these for the price of, like, you know, a Winsor & Newton Series 7 or an 8404, and they've been great. I do probably 80% of my painting with these brushes in particular. Right now I'm using enamels, so I'm just using these super cheap really crappy, cheap, just synthetic brushes that I got at, you know, what is our equivalent of the dollar store. And I only use these for this stuff. I don't use these for my regular paints. And I think that's it. I think that's it for these enamels. And like I said before, I wouldn't normally have tufts on yet. Just because the way that these shitty tufts are made, it was kind of better to put them on with the basing texture paste stuff, because these tufts suck. These are awful. I'm gonna put nice tufts on later when everything's done, of course, but for now I think this is where we're at. So we just gotta let this dry. I think it's kind of cool. This isn't the final result. I missed a rock. We'll do more. This is already almost dry, so we can't reactivate it. There's gonna be more filtering and stuff like that after this. And then pigments. So I missed a couple rocks. So this isn't the final look by any means, but I think it's a pretty good start. Oh, here you go, G. On this side right here, let me get close up soon. You can kind of see here where it's already drying. It almost looks like just pigments, to be honest. So yeah, when it dries up, it's really matte, it's dusty. It's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, we'll do more on top of this once it's dried. I've used oils for miniatures, I've used the hair ones, they shed like crazy and they're ridiculously expensive too. Yeah, they can be it's good ones for layers and details. Yeah, exactly. I don't think oils are appropriate for painting sculptures really. I mean, the oils take forever to dry. Yes and no. Depends on which oils you use. There are a couple lines that are made specifically for mini painting, and they usually only take a day to dry. Like the Ebtalon stuff dries really quickly, and there are mediums that you can add to it to also increase the drying time or decrease the drying time. So that really they're not that bad. And oils, especially washes, are super useful. Like ridiculously useful. Weeks or months, man, and that's more for, that's like if you're painting canvases and you're putting it on. You wouldn't be putting anywhere near enough oil paint on a mini to have it take that long. Like I said, we're mostly talking about washes, and if you're doing anything other than washes, the amount of paint you're putting on there is so small. It's like you're talking about putting one dot to do all the highlights on like an entire leg. It's because of how you can move it around and really pull it from one place to another place. I had never considered really using oils until I watched other people do it, and it's pretty sweet. I've since invested in a bunch of oils. They're great for filters. They're especially good for washes, because you can slam it on there. You can slam it on the whole thing and just take it away from where you want to take it away from. And it's nice, especially for metallics, because it won't dull down your metallics like washes will, but it will stay in the recesses and do the shadowing job that washes are meant to do. And there are plenty of painters who paint with only oils. That's not me. For the majority of the work, I prefer to use acrylics, but oils definitely, absolutely have their place. You know, that's why so many scale modelers use them, and they're becoming more and more popular with minis as well. Hey, Underdog, how you doing, man? Thanks for popping in. We were just playing with some enamels. First time playing with these things. Pretty cool. I'm liking them. Let's see, I kind of missed some stuff here. Dress up looks good, yeah. New pastel texture oil paintings, yes, so it does not technically dry, they cure, right? They do, they cure. Marcos is here. What's up, fella? How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, this is the base for the knob. I have done some oil painting on canvas. That was many, many years ago. One of my very, very good friends is an oil painter. So I've spent a lot of time watching him work as well. Right on. Yeah, as long as you use white spirits for your oils and your enamels, it's pretty safe. I've been working with white spirits. Not with minis, but I've had jobs where I worked with white spirits all day, every day. And yeah, I'm fine. Yes, this is the base for the knob, because this is a gift for a friend. He does not play. I don't play either, neither does my friend. So base size doesn't matter. I just wanted to make something a little nicer than a round. And he's going to sit up here. Let me turn it. He's going to sit up here like this. Oh, and that's why these two spots are flattened out. He's going to sit right there. So yeah, we're kind of at another drying point where we need to wait for this to dry. And I need to go wash my hands real quick, so I will be right back. Alright, so I need to sit back for a little bit because my shitty chair, my back is starting to hurt like crazy. So Enamel Mud should be labeled properly. Of course, yeah, all your stuff should be labeled properly. Absolutely. But with minis, man, you use such a tiny amount that, you know, this is what I'm using for my spirits. It's just these tiny little, oh, you can't see. These tiny little jars, and they are labeled. But yeah, this is more than enough for a long time. I won't have to add anything to either of these bottles for quite a while. And this bottle alone is gonna last. Shit, I'll probably have this and still have this in a couple years. Seriously, I do say it's also versatility of acrylics. I feel you, man. I agree. But I am really enjoying, if I could speak, using them with minis as well. You know, definitely not as a main paint, but yeah, using it for specific things. It's really nice for specific things. Yeah, I gotta really, gotta go in and reset these Nightbot timers. Sorry about the spam. I keep forgetting to do that. Timers on that thing are kind of weird though, to tell you the truth. Because you have a setting for, like, you know, display this every 11 minutes or whatever, but the 11 minutes counts from the top of the hour, not from when you start, which is kind of weird. So it'll display at like 2:11, then 2:22, then 2:33, then 2:44, then 2:55, and then in the next hour it resets again, so then it'll be 3:11, 3:22, blah blah blah. It would be much easier to set better timers if it went just from when you started and started counting out the minutes. See? Yeah, this one's coming up. Sorry about that, you guys. No, I'm going to make a note of that right now, so we don't forget. Reset Nightbot timers. You should Postmates Taco Bell. I'm not sure what you mean. Postmates Taco Bell. Please elaborate. I'm not sure what that means. So Paul, John, are you painting, building anything tonight? What are you up to? Or this morning? I don't know where you are. Or this afternoon. Like, what do you think? We don't have Taco Bell in Taiwan, man. I wish we did. Alright, Marcos. Have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping in. always appreciate it. Postmates, where's Postmates? What country is that? We don't have that here either. We have Food Panda. We have Uber Eats. We have another one I can't remember the name of, and then a bunch of little tiny companies. Food Panda is definitely the biggest one, and then Uber Eats. Sorry about the fan noise. I'm getting some air on this, trying to dry it a little more quickly. I wish I could order some Taco Bell. We have McDonald's, we have Burger King, we have KFC, we have Subway. We don't have Taco Bell though. I wish. It's the best garbage food there is. I do miss it sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. Unfortunately, I don't have many options at all for any kind of Mexican. I've heard there's one very good Mexican place up in Taipei, but I haven't been there yet. I really want to though. It's one of the few things that I miss about the States. So this is drying pretty quickly. It's nearly dry. And it looks quite muddy. I kind of feel it. So we'll do the same thing on the model's boots and on his legs. Once we get him stuck on, we'll do his rock that his foot is on, and we'll do the rest of these rocks. We'll paint those individually, and then spatter his boots and his pants. Yeah, man, back in the States, I used to eat shit food like mad. Just mainly because it was cheap, and it's like the opposite here. Good healthy food is super cheap, and garbage food is more expensive, which really, if you think about it, that's the way it should be. Like for the same, if I was to go and eat till I was completely full at McDonald's, for the same money here, I could go and eat till I was completely full on fresh sushi. It's not a hard choice. It snows at a couple places. It snows at Yushan and Alishan, which are the two highest mountains, and that's only like a dusting a couple times, maybe 2-3 times a winter, but yeah, it's only way up at the top of those mountains. Like I said, we're supposed to get really cold tomorrow, and it's supposed to be like 7 Celsius, which I'm from Michigan, so 7 Celsius is still hoodie weather, and everybody else here is going to be completely bundled up. Hats, boots, scarves, the whole nine. But yes, I am in Taiwan, hence the Taiwan flags. Yeah, where are you from? You're in the States, I guess? Southern California, right on. Near Venice, gotcha. I was working a job for a while where we had to service a bunch of the Safeways and Pavilion stores, and so we spent half the summer going to every single Safeway and Pavilion in Southern California and parts of Nevada over to Reno, and I wasn't feeling it, no offense, but yeah, I'm glad I don't live there. Just not my vibe, I don't know. If I'm gonna live in the States, I'm definitely gonna live in the North. But hopefully I'm not living in the States anytime soon again. Alright, so we only got a couple spots that are still wet, and that's where it was a little thicker. But we were very nearly ready to carry on with this. I think I'm going to have to get a little bit lighter base coat on the log. But the rest of it's pretty good. I'm going to do like a thin down Gorgrunifer, thin down pretty fire, and we'll just make it a nice wash and go through that. It's either locked down or it's not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel bad for everybody who's having to deal with lockdown stuff. We haven't had to, which is pretty amazing. Really, the most drastic step we've had to take was back at the beginning of the year for Lunar New Year, when the whole thing started. For Lunar New Year, all the kids were on break. So the only thing that we really had to do was postpone reopening school for a couple weeks. Yeah, for real. I feel you, man. But it's pretty amazing how Taiwan learned from the previous SARS episode in what, 2008 or whatever that was. Yeah, 2008. And government took action, drastic action, immediately. So I don't know if you know anything about Taiwan, but it's a very small island of 24 million people who are all crammed into basically 5 cities, very densely populated cities. And we've had less than 700 cases and a grand total of 7 deaths. We've only had one community case, one community transmission in, well, actually the first one that we've had in almost 300 days was just last week, and that was that came from some people who were sick, who came into the country already sick. So it's pretty amazing, actually. And plus, Taiwanese people, well, most of the Asian countries, I don't know about the southern Asian countries, I haven't spent much time there at all. But most of the Eastern Asian countries are very, very, very considerate and mask wearing is a normal thing pretty much any year. This year is nothing special. If you have a cold, you wear a mask so you don't get other people sick. That's just the way it works. So everything has been pretty much mostly normal for us for almost a year. So since this one person got sick, they've kind of strengthened up mask regulations, like for shopping centers, theaters, sports venues, things like that. But yeah, for the most part, it's business as usual. So I feel very, very, very fortunate to be here. Alright, getting closer. I know it's kind of boring watching paint dry. So my apologies. But we're getting close. We're getting close. Yeah, UK's having a shit time. Having a shit go of it right now. Taiwan has had entry restrictions for quite a while now, at least 200 days. No foreign nationals are allowed in without special visas. And those special visas are very difficult to get right now. So that definitely meant no going home for Christmas for me. So I leave the country, I won't be able to come back in until God knows when. Alright, well this log is totally dry, so I can get a base coat on that anyway. I think we're going to go with I think we'll go with something like this jackbone. Just want it to be like, you know, it's been there for a while. So we're going to go for this more kind of pale grayish brown. And then we'll do this Gorgrana over that. So it's going to be, we'll thin it down. It won't be a solid Gorgrana effect. I think that would be too brown, to be totally honest. Yeah, man, dude, I hear you. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say, but people in the States need to start taking this thing seriously. And they need to get over this whole "ain't no government gonna tell me what to do" attitude. Until they do, it's just gonna keep going. It's like, I don't know why that's so hard to understand. I mean, I do, and you know, I don't really want to offend anybody, but a lot of Americans are fucking stupid. And sorry, not sorry if that's harsh, but it's true. Not all, of course. Not all Americans are anything. But there are a lot of fucking stupid people in that country. You know, I spent most of my life there. Not like I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been to a huge majority of the states. So I didn't live there in a bubble. It's unfortunate. I wish it wasn't that way. But, you know, what are you gonna do? If people are not going to listen to the advice of people who've spent their entire lives studying epidemiology, and instead they're going to listen to some guy named Tony on Facebook who did his research. By research I mean watching someone's shitty YouTube video. Sorry, I don't want to keep going on about that. I really don't want to talk about that. I try not to talk about anything political on my channel much, but it's just getting to the point where it's ridiculous. It's like people want lockdown to stop, but they don't want to do anything to help it stop. You know what I'm saying? These few months have gone fast. You're slow and dragged now. Yeah. I sympathize. I mean, I can't relate. We didn't have it, but I can sympathize. Oh, I think maybe there was some white spirits there. Paint looks a little weird. Oh well, we'll just keep going, see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? Get a weird texture on wood. Oh no. Not weird texture on wood. A log at that. I'm not worried about it. We'll just carry on. I think this will be an appropriate color for this. Actually, I might even hit the inside of the wood too. But we just won't hit it with the bark color. We'll hit that with a different color. Maybe skeleton heart or something. I'm not trying to be lazy about it. I just really like the way the contrast paints look on wood. I think it has a cool look. Sorry, this is a bad angle. You totally can't see anything I'm doing. But it's just base coats, nothing fancy anyway. housing. It's bad in Victoria, the south should have been okay. It's pretty bad in north-southwest, though. They keep letting people fly in and make it that again. Yeah. Luckily our restrictions haven't been down south, which people did what they were told and isolated, etc. Nice. Same here, my family's planning on leaving for Texas or Washington, maybe California, as long as it's California, dream and feel. That sucks. Yeah, dude, that's a fucking expensive place to live. Very expensive place to live. I have friends out there who are seriously considering leaving as well. And I can't say as I blame them. Sorry, just trying to cool down that video. Was a little hard to see what was going on. Yeah, the friends that I have there that are considering leaving, I hope they do. They could be living a much happier life somewhere else. So for this I'm using this P3 Jackbone color. I really like these P3 paints. They have a really dense pigment, but they're not really thick. Like you don't even really need to thin them out, like hardly. Just thin out just the tiniest little bit. Would like to get more of these, but I would have to import them. I'm trying not to import anything until the shipping prices go back down. Yes, it will, sir. Yes, it will. You're absolutely correct. all I can really do is hope that things at least get a little bit better soon. Anything will be better than the way things have been going for a lot of people. So yeah, just doing base coats on this still. It was my fault. I should have done the initial base coat a little bit lighter on this wood. But no use crying over spilled, right? It's just going to take a few coats. That's okay, it's not like it's difficult painting. AM, yeah man, you're a late nighter like I am, but yeah, that's a good time to go to bed. Thanks for stopping in as always, man. Get yourself some sleep. Hope you don't have to get up in the morning or later in the morning. But yeah man, have a good night, get some sleep, have a good new year if I don't stream and see you before then. Yeah, me too, man. I've always been that way ever since I was a young boy. Always been a late nighter, all nighter. Don't know why. Something in the way I'm wired, I guess. I think we just get one more real thin coat. I'm not going to worry about the bottoms, or the bottom and side of this so much, just the top. Just have that natural shadow. And then once that's dry, we'll get some contrast on there. A bit on the exposed inner wood. I can't tell if that, we'll make it part of the wood. I think it's part of this. Can't tell if it's mud or if it's part of the log. But we'll make it part of the log. How about that? It's part of the log now. quite the opposite for me. My sleeping pattern screwed up during this lockdown, but before I go to sleep. Latest would be 10 p.m. Ooh. That is early. That is indeed early. So if it was 5 for G, it must be 3 for me. Nope, it's still going on. Like I said, man, we don't have cases here. The only people who are sick here are sick before they come here, and they get quarantined on arrival. Entry is very, very, very strict. So it's gonna happen. I mean, like, literally nobody is sick here. It's not exaggerating. It's actually the way it is. We've gone down, or up, rather, to see it a couple years. We don't go every year, though. We can actually, if we go up to the roof of our building, we can see it. It's like about that big, but we can see it. We're not that far from downtown Taipei. It's like New Taipei City, like wraps almost all the way around Taipei City. It's in the middle. We're in New Taipei City, and so right straight downtown Taipei is only about 20 to 25 kilometers away. It's not that far. So what does Mr. Paul do for a living? They're in Southern California. I gotta sit back for a little bit. My back. Because I'm old. My back's made of wood. Come down like that building in Dubai too. Oh yeah. No, it's a cool ass display, no doubt about it. But yeah, we won't be going down for it this year. I mean, there's so many fucking people that there's no way you want to drive up in there. I mean, I don't like to drive in Taipei just on a normal day. It's funny because Taiwanese people are some of the smartest, most well-educated, most respectful, most polite people I've ever met in any country. I've been to like a dozen different countries until they pilot any type of vehicle, and then they become the exact opposite of those things. So, yeah, driving New Year's Eve in Taipei, no. And just there's so many people who also don't want to drive down there that taking the bus and the train just takes forever. You wait in a queue for the train. It's just ridiculous. Finished fine arts degree last year, which is not really necessary. No, it's not. So you were a student and now working, or not? Just painting? Because if so, that's pretty sweet. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I paint, but it's not my job. I'm an English tutor. I tutor ESL students, both kids and adults. I work mostly late afternoons and evenings, so my painting time is late night, usually. And I really should be working on videos, but I'm kind of just throughout this holidays, I'm kind of taking a break from painting things for videos and just painting for fun. And I figure I'm going to be painting anyway, so I might as well stream, you know. Otherwise, I'm the only one awake in the house, and there's no one to talk to. Younger you could have decided on engineering or some others. Dude. I'm of the opinion that you gotta go to school for and do what you like to do. Otherwise, it's just torture. My son graduated from high school a few years ago. He's 22 now, and he decided not to go right to university because he didn't know what he wanted to do. And I'm totally fine with that, as long as he figures out what he wants to do and does eventually go back. But yeah, I went to university for something that I didn't care about, and I ended up quitting. It's just not worth it, you know. If you don't enjoy what you do, it's just not worth it. And then, you know, it's just my opinion. But I would definitely encourage someone to just do what feels right, not what, you know, potential dollar signs there are. Because even you study some fancy shit, get some fancy degree, you're not guaranteed a job. You're not guaranteed making the money that they said you would. So, you know, you might as well do what you love. Like, my boy's really interested in videography and editing and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, there you go, dude. Go to school for that. I mean, it's not necessary, but it definitely helps get your foot in the door in a lot of places. And you can do that job anywhere in the country. You could do that job from home, you know. If you just want to edit videos for people, you can do that anywhere. If you want to run a camera, you can do that in a lot of places too. So, you know, that was his favorite thing in high school. It was AV class. He would film and run the Jumbotron for school's basketball and football, and he loved it. Hey Rainer, what's up, fella? How you doing, man? Lurking and working. Hey, that's cool, man. No worries. I've just been working on this bass. It's the bass for the orc. It's not a gaming bass, that's for sure. And he's gonna go here. Something like that, sorta. Oh. He's gonna go basically sit on here like that. We're just, so far we've just got these base coats down and little extras, played with some enamels, that was fun. And now I'm just kind of working on this log. I should check the time though. Oh, it's not even 3 yet. Right on. Okay, not even 3 yet, cool. I have time. So I'm going to thin down some of this foreground first. Yeah, see, and all these Nightbot messages are all coming up again. I gotta figure out the timing on that. Makes me feel dirty. It's so spammy. So just gonna grab a bit of this. We'll thin it down a little bit to do the log. Then we'll thin it down more and kind of use it as a wash for the whole base. Whoa! Shooting water all over. Yeah, so by all accounts the stream's doing better tonight. That's good. I think I got most of this stuff figured out. I did have to knock down the resolution a little bit, which I wasn't really happy about. But it's better than that whole thing. That was annoying even for me, and I wasn't even trying to watch it. I can imagine these previous streams were not very fun to watch. We've only had a year and one semester painting, the rest were digital, visual arts, and theories, and other useless crap. Right on. I don't know if digital arts are too useless. And if I was to go back to school at this age, that's actually I would be inclined to do digital arts, to be totally honest. Not sure I like this color. But we'll see what happens with it. I mean, I'm not going to only do this. I'm going to do, you know, we'll do highlights and dry brushing and all that crap on top of it. But I think it might be too brown. But we'll just finish it and see. Oops, I already got somewhere I didn't want it. Oh, no big deal. Could just cover that over. And I'm thinking this might be too brown. I wanted it to look older. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have done this first, and then the enamels, because I think I should probably go back and add some of the enamels to this also. Not sure what I was thinking there. Actually, I do know I wasn't thinking. that's really it. Should have considered that. It's okay though. You can always go back. Do more of the enamels. It's not a big deal. I don't know. If we go a little bit heavier, it'll look better. I think I need to get more music done too. This playlist is starting to feel a little sparse. It just takes a lot of time making videos and making music for the videos. I learned nothing new really, but yeah, it's just paying commissions and stuff since galleries are affected too. Alright, I was just a bad student. Fair enough. Okay, so I think we're going to thin this way down and do a big massive wash. So we're going to give it some more contrast medium and a bunch of fluid. Make this really thin. Just do a little spot here, see how it looks. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Just thin it down a little bit more. Just to be safe, we can always add more. So kind of don't want to lose those enamels colors. And try to tie stuff together here. I'm not really hitting every single spot, leaving some of them untouched, because I'm actually going to have to go back with some of the greens. Some of the greens got pretty much lost. I'm gonna go back with the enamels for the log. You can also do a little bit more spatter. That won't hurt anything. Alright, so we can actually bring these greens back in right now. Crude camo is going to be good for that. So I'm just kind of getting these up, this green up kind of in the overhangs, and the shaded parts where things would be a little more mossy. If that's not vivid enough, we can go with something else, but it should be okay. So I'm going to jam a bunch of clump foliage in that open crack. Hey. Can't hold on to shit tonight. Alright, actually we didn't lose too much of the enamel color, so that's pretty good. I think we thinned that Gorgon out enough to where it didn't really affect that stuff too much. And these individual rocks, the small rocks I'm going to paint individually with different, blue grays and brown grays, reds. I'll just give a little variation in there. Bases and terrain stuff, it's a lot of back and forth between the lights and the darks and whatever colors. Still got pigments to do too, so there's that. Alright, back stretching time. Try to remember to put paints away when I'm done with them. Finally got another box, so my drawers aren't so crammed. And I could actually fit some more paints in here instead of down in the drawers down there. It's a little more convenient. So since you're into canvas painting and stuff, what kind of stuff do you like to paint? Or like, what's your style or whatever? The little bit I did, I liked. I wasn't good at it, but I don't know what is good. I guess there's always that. I guess maybe it's not so much that I wasn't good at it, but I didn't like what I did. Though I suppose if I would have kept up with it, I probably could have gotten to a point where I liked what I was doing. As with anything else. Alright, I'm sorry, but I got to get the fan going again here. I think we're going to use skeleton hard on the exposed wood. I'm going to think about what kind of color we can use for red with. Kimberly Gomez working on the base for the knob that we've been painting. Thanks for stopping in, of course. Nice to see you. What are you working on? That's the real question. Alright, so here's where we're at so far. We did base coating. We did a bunch of washes and contrast washes. We did some Enamel Mud Effects, which we'll do more of. It's dinner time here in Paris. Nice. And yeah, that's where we're at. How about me? Well, it's almost 3 in the morning where I'm at, so I'm well past dinner time. I'm snacking on Pocky and working on this base. Tonight I am enjoying strawberry Pocky, one of my favorites. I do have some sort of spicy something or other out there as well. But right now it's strawberry. I had my dinner already tonight. We had Thai. Not my favorite, to be totally honest. But the girlfriend likes it, so I'm good with the shrimp cakes. I like that. Oh no, man, now you got me thinking about fries. Fries sound good as hell now. Trying to think what other snacks I have handy. Got a bunch of, got a big fresh bag of dried squid. That's so good. But it's so chewy, I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys and eat it at the same time. Let's see, I got a bunch of goldfish crackers. Those are a bit loud to eat on screen. I don't have a lot of good snack options right now. Yes, Asian markets, definitely the place to get Pocky. I live in Asia, so I get it everywhere. Yeah, see, it's funny. Normally I don't eat a lot of sugar snacks. My sugar intake comes from soda and Monster and coffee and Supal. I drink a lot of Supal, especially in the summer. Not so much in the winter, but it hasn't really gotten cold here yet. So it looks like we're getting about dry, so I need to figure out what color highlights we're going to do on this thing. Any suggestions? You know, I kind of want a sort of a grayish brown. I have to dig through here. These are all brown. Might have to mix something up. So are you an actual French person, or are you a foreign national living in France? Neutral teal for the branch, for the log, I think. Neutral teal, interesting. I was thinking, where did it go? If I can find it. Maybe lighten up this track primer, because that is, or light rubber, because these look straight gray, but they're actually browny. If I mix these with a tiny bit of light brown, muted turquoise, mossy kind of. Possibly. I'm just doing highlights though. Thinking specifically of a dry brush color. Because right now it looks too brown. I wanted it to look older. I wanted it to look like it's been there for longer. Moss is a good idea for that, though. Thinking this one's going to be too light. I might have to mix these. Mom is Peruvian, Dad's German. I just moved here in France from Germany. I can only speak English. It'll come. If you plan on staying there, you'll get it. I fortunately now, after 3 years of school, am pretty fluent in Mandarin. I can do the things I need to do. I can say what I need to say and mostly understand. There's still obviously a lot of vocabulary I haven't learned yet, but I do okay. I can write, well, I can type. I used to be able to write, but I haven't done it in so long that I've forgotten all but a handful. Like, I know what there's, I have an idea of what the character looks like, but when I go to start to write it, just lost. But when I type, like on my phone or computer or iPad or whatever, I can type fine. I can type Chinese fine. My writing is just about all gone. So actually, I think I'm gonna try this with real light brown. Like troll claws. It's kind of almost a yellowy brown, or browny yellow. Brain shut down. It is very different from English. It almost could not be more different. Yeah, I feel you. Like I said, I studied at a Mandarin language center for 3 years. And that was every day, you know, every weekday. And yeah, it's not easy. But it's also not impossible, even at my age. So I am far from a young fellow. Alright, let's see what kind of ugliness we can mix up here. Might actually be better going the other way, mixing the dark into the light. I think I'm still too dark. Give it a try. Background, speaking French, languages, speak French a little bit. German, sure. That's English since a kid. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I studied German 2 years in high school. I got to use it a lot when I visited Germany. I was there for a couple months. And it improved a lot, but I haven't used it since then, and I've forgotten pretty much all of it. But learning German for an English speaker is so much easier than learning Chinese as an English speaker, for obvious reasons. I'm just going to put a tiny bit on here. Nah, it's still too dark. We're just gonna go hog here. Throw a whole drop. See what we come up with. This might be the totally wrong approach, but okay, who cares? It's only drops of paint, right? Okay, I think that's better. Let's give it a shot, huh? Let's give it a try. Worst case, I just repaint it. So your parents always spoke English with you then? It's an interesting situation. I don't mean to pry. You don't have to tell me. It's just very curious, that's all. So I think this actually is going to work. Then what we'll do is we'll just do a wash on this afterwards with something similar to the Wargamer. If nothing else, this is just making it look less brown. Which is good. That's a good thing. This might be a good wash to use on it. This smoke or this wood grain. That's going to be a better wash. We'll do that after this. Studying in school or English. I gotcha. Okay. Right on. Right on. Understood. It looks like this is doing exactly what I hoped it would do, which makes me happy. So obviously it's going to need a wash after this, but I'm just really toning down that brown a lot. This dry brush is actually kind of acting more like a filter than like a dry brush. I don't know if you can see what's going on there, but yeah, it's definitely looking older. That's good. That's good. Okay. So I do need to. Shit. What were we using for? Oh yeah. Using this jack bone. I need to cover up a little spot where I had the errant contrast paints. Just one little spot here. Finished. It's easy to dark colors with water-based paints, so white paint and successful colors to avoid wasting paint, like glazing. Right. I had thought that that track primer was a little lighter than it actually was. So that was my fault. So we're gonna thin this down a bit. Yeah, I don't want to use that contrast again. We're going to use this color, it says wood grain, this Vallejo ink. I'm going to thin it down pretty hard. Actually, you know what? I'm going to actually add in some strong tone as well. About half and half wood grain and strong tone. A bunch of medium. I know it's a sort of wasteful for just this one piece, but what are you gonna do, right? Find a place to test this. Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's more what I was going for. Right on. Much better. Okay. Yeah, value is definitely much more important than the color. In most cases, yes. Okay, so skeleton horde we're going to use for the exposed inner wood. My Christmas was only half Christmas so far. The gifts we sent to my family in the States have not arrived there yet, nor have their gifts to us arrived here. So we're waiting for that. Same thing with my gifts for my girlfriend and her gifts for me. We're waiting on stuff to come. So we actually just, her and I exchanged our gifts yesterday. Christmas Day, we just went out for Chinese and watched Netflix. It was nice. Just chill. So as soon as gifts arrive here and gifts arrive in the States, then we'll do a Skype Christmas with my parents and my son and his lovely girlfriend. You know, shipping is taking a wonderfully long time currently. Although it's better to and from the States than it is from a lot of other places. It's expected 25 to 31. Feels like we should be festive or just go to sleep. Yeah, for real. It's like I was saying earlier, I haven't been working on videos. I should be, but I'm not. I have thing I'm painting for Wargamers that I should be working on a video that I started. I haven't finished. Well, I've mostly finished filming. I haven't started editing at all. That I should have been working on, but I just wanted to just paint things for myself and figured while I'm painting for myself, I might as well stream, so I can chat with people and hopefully people enjoy watching. What are we watching on Netflix? My girlfriend watches a lot more than I do. She's been watching a lot of Korean TV series. I don't even know which ones, to be honest. But there's a couple shows that, what have we watched lately? We watched Queen's Gambit. That was good. And of course, absolutely have to watch the Trailer Park Boys Christmas special on Christmas. That's mandatory. So we did that. But yeah, I don't watch as much as she does. So she usually, I let her pick what we watch, and if I'm being totally honest, if it's Korean TV shows, I'm coming in here and painting. But I don't have a whole lot of interest in drama, like TV dramas, too much, so it's not really my thing. Want to eat junk food and eat seaweed crackers. We got a whole big ass bag of seaweed crackers out there. What I've really come to appreciate is the Lay's seaweed potato chips. They're basically potato chips, chunks of seaweed in it. It's pretty awesome. I like those a lot. Still waiting for this to dry, but it's coming along. We'll have to bust out the enamels again. I think we're just going to do spatter with those. Probably just the lighter colored one. Yeah, the dramas I don't care for at all. We did watch a couple of comedies that were pretty good. Was one called Coffee King, I think it was called. That was pretty good. There's another one about a girl, like ugly girl. I mean, she wasn't ugly, but they tried to make her look ugly. You know what I mean? So she was like the ugly office girl, and it was this whole thing, and yeah, I don't know. That one was kind of funny. There was a girl, her friend. The ugly girl's friend was posing as her because she wanted to make people think she grew up pretty. I don't know, the premise was kind of fucked, but the situations were pretty funny anyway. Hey, you know, I would watch that if I mean, I suppose it's probably on YouTube, but I would watch that. I mean, that's childhood shit for me. It was on pretty much probably like after school. That was on at least 2 or 3 times a day on various channels. So yeah, I would watch that again too. Oh man, speaking of old shows, honestly, you know, what I would love to have the every season MASH box set. MASH was one of the best TV shows ever made. It was so good. That shit was funny. That was my childhood. That was one of those shows where I didn't really understand what was funny at first because I was too young. And then I started to get it, and then I absolutely loved it. And completely bawled my eyes out on the finale episode. Completely, I was a wreck. But honestly, I'm a pretty sensitive person. It's not hard to get me to cry at stuff. Especially like friendship stuff and father and son stuff. Oh man, that shit makes me bawl. I ain't scared to admit it. I think I'm fairly happy with that. I don't necessarily love it. Maybe just because it's too shiny. You know what? I'm gonna mat this down real hard and see. Seinfeld. I got into Seinfeld. I liked it for the most part. Friends, I thought was absolutely retarded. I just don't get it. I never understood why that was so popular. I didn't find it funny at all. Same thing with Big Bang Theory. Like that show legit made me angry. Thought it was so stupid. But to each their own, you know? I just didn't see it. I could not find the funny. And probably Friends for me too. I think it was just for a younger audience. By the time Friends came out, I think I was definitely not their target audience. So I'm gonna mat this down real quick just to see if I need to do anything else with it, because I think my problem I'm having with it is just the shininess of that contrast. What's that? Still Watch Amazing Race. I have never seen it ever. I'm not that much of a TV person. When I was living in the States, I pretty much never watched TV. Never. Still don't. Honestly, my jam is Trailer Park Boys and YouTube. Really, that's what I watch. I don't watch TV. I don't watch a whole lot of movies either, really. I used to watch more movies. Yeah, not so much. I watched a lot of TV when I was a kid. But as I got older, I rarely watch television. Very, very rarely watch television. It just seemed like there just really wasn't anything that was, really had something unique to offer. Either it was insultingly stupid comedy shows, or completely predictable police dramas. Yeah, I don't know, man. There wasn't a lot of TV that I got into, at least not American TV. I also never got into reality TV, except for I did enjoy, it sounds stupid and might make me seem like the kind of person that I'm not, but I actually really enjoyed American Chopper, and it was not because of the drama and the stupidness. It was just because they were building things. I like to watch people build stuff. And I ride a motorbike here, but I'm not like a motorcycle dude. Like I would never own a chopper or a Harley or any of that kind of motorcycle. I would be more inclined to have like a, not like a crotch rocket, but more of a street bike. But I like watching people make things, especially when they're, super high quality stuff, and, say what you will, but those guys made some amazing machines. Let's see. Do you plays news here too? didn't watch TV too with the TV noise in the background. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I spend way more time just listening to music. Like I will literally sit on the couch and listen to music with no visual stimulus. way more than I will watch things. But honestly, the thing I watch most is YouTube. I don't really watch the news here either, because honestly, nothing much really ever happens here. Like the big news story of the day is, you know, like, oh, guess what, everybody? Mr. Xie's cat came home after missing for 4 weeks. Congratulations, Mr. Xie. There's not a lot newsworthy that goes on around here. Taking care of your pets. What kind of pets you got? So I'm gonna let this dry, stretch my back a little bit here. And chat with old Kimberly. No, I live close. I live in Taiwan, actually. I live in New Taipei City. But yeah, there's not a lot of not a lot of crazy news. You know, it's like weather and then the same 4 stories over and over. And that's the whole day's news. Not a lot. Every now and then, you know, I mean, if there's like a big weather event, you know, if we get typhoons or whatever, or you know, an earthquake or whatever, then that's, you know, that's all over the news that night or that week or whatever the case may be. But two Italian greyful. I bet that's a handful. Did I say greyfuls? I mixed up greyhounds and handfuls, or mashed them together. Sorry. Yeah, I was all about dogs when I was a kid, and no offense, I don't like dogs anymore. I'm totally into cats. I hated cats when I was a kid. I don't fault people for having dogs. I understand why they like them. I'm just all about cats now. We have 2 cats. We got the second cat we have now. We got shortly after a previous cat died. So we had originally had the one, then we got another one shortly after that. The first one died, and after that, then we got what is the third one, I guess. Taiwan, yes, that's why I studied Chinese, because I needed to live. I needed to be able to talk to people and do things, and read stuff and write things. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd really have no reason to study Chinese, other than for fun, I guess. Plan on buying a Lynx. Hey, if you can have one, go for it. It would be pretty rad, to be honest. Alright, give me 1 second. I need to use the bathroom and grab a drink, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay. Yeah, that's not exactly the ideal quality in a pet. But they are fucking cool though, that's for sure. Okay, we're drying up here. I do like it better, a little more matte. It does look better. So, let me check time. 3:49. I don't know if I should really. I don't know if I should really get started on something else. Probably gonna start wrapping it up. Well, I got pretty good chunk of this base done. Should probably be able to finish it up tomorrow. I really need to get a new chair. Oh, this thing's killing me. Alright, so here's where we ended up for tonight. It's looking pretty good so far. So basically what's left is spatter. Put the enamels back out, do the spatter, painting the individual rocks, doing pigments, tufts, and then we can pin this guy on and well, when we do the spatter on here, we'll do the spatter on his boots and his pants as well. Oh, and we gotta paint the rock too, the rock under his foot. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, we're getting there. It's he's getting there. So what does Kimberly like to paint? Or do you paint, or do you not paint and just stumbled across this stream? Tufts. Oh, and moss too. Yeah, I didn't forget about your moss idea. I do have some... Where is it? I have this somewhere here. Yeah, this is actually, it's a moss texture. So it's like a textured paint, but it's specifically it's moss. That'd be cool on there. I might use some of this too. So I'm gonna keep these out. We'll deal with those tomorrow. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that'd be good. They are pretty damn cool. That's for sure. Let's see if I could actually have that's my kitty on here. One of my kitties. This one's so beat up I need to get a new one. It's taken tumbles out of the car for 4 or 5, 6, 10 times. Surprised it hasn't broken. Here's Mr. Chubby Butt. This is Steve French. He's named after Trailer Park Boys, Steve French. And he's chubby. So he gets called Chubby Butt, don't you? Don't you? You like to sit on my lap when I paint and edit. You're a good boy. You just need to lay off the food a little bit. Okay? Say goodbye. Alright. There you go. See you, buddy. Yeah, they are super cute. This guy is scared of everything. Why are you so scared all the time, huh? So weird. Chubby butt. Alright, chubby butt. We should probably wrap it up, huh? Go to sleep. Alright, thanks folks for hanging out with me. Going to say good night, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever your case may be. Just seeing Steve French on playback. He's so silly. Noodles is out here somewhere. I'm surprised she hasn't been screaming around the house. It's about that time. I don't know where she is. But anyway, guys, thanks. See, there's still a few of you here, so you guys have a good night. Thanks for chatting with me, Kimberly. Have a good evening, and yeah, what's that say? Fourth glass showing. True that. True that. Alright, well, I'm gonna head off to bed, so if I don't stream again before the new year, have a good new year, have a safe new year, all of that stuff. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys again, hopefully, next time I stream. Always welcome, always appreciated you guys hanging out with me. So, have a good night, I'll catch you next time.